The secret of Norma Street. The morning sun had barely cracked the sky over Enugu when the sharp wail of sirens pierced the calm of Norma Street, a bustling arteria in the city's heart where cement houses squeezed shoulder to shoulder like gossiping women at a village meeting. The smell of roasted corn and petrol hung in the air as uniformed officers taped off the entrance to number 14B, a modest duplex with tiled walls and a rusted gate that had stood silently through rain and riot, holding within it a secret thick enough to choke an entire town. The whispers came fast. Mama Eda don't kill her daughter. Oh. Tufiokwa. What kind woman they kill her own pikin? But this wasn't just another Lagos-style tabloid headline. No. This was Igbo East. This was blood tied to blood, and the ground remembered everything. Mama Eda, whose real name was Nnenna Ezeugo, had once been the belle of Nsukka-crowned Adaobi, the eagle's daughter, in the late 1980s. She wore her beauty like war paint, and her ambition like a shield. Born into a family of herbalists and diviners, she turned her back on the old ways after her father's shrine was burned during the Pentecostal revival that swept through their village. With only a WAEC certificate and a heart full of steel, she carved out a new life in Enugu as a nurse, marrying an electrician from Oba and giving birth to a single child, Adaobi. Adaobi was everything Nnenna had dreamed of, book smart. Soft-faced, with a laughter that could cure pain. Nnenna poured all her hopes into her daughter, raising her with the discipline of a soldier and the tenderness of a tired saint. The two were inseparable. People often joked that Nnenna had cut her own soul in half and given the better portion to Adaobi. But the truth, buried under years of silence and shadows, was that Adaobi carried something more than just her mother's dreams. She carried her mother's curse. What nobody knew was that Nnenna, before she became Nurse Ezeugo in Enugu, had been the keeper of a secret shrine deep in the forest of Ehamufu. She had been chosen at birth, marked with a star-shaped scar under her left breast, to carry the spirit of Nne Uhamiri, the goddess of secrets and sacrifice. It was a mantle her father had taken to his grave when the shrine was destroyed. But the spirit never truly died. It lingered. And it demanded blood. In her 20s, after leaving the village and becoming pregnant out of wedlock, Nnenna found herself desperate. No job, no man, no future. That was when Nne Uhamiri returned to her in a dream, draped in red cloth, whispering through the mouth of a python, "Give me life, and I will give you power. Give me yours, or give me hers." She woke up with blood between her thighs, and from then on, her life blossomed. She got the nursing job. Her accidental pregnancy turned into a strong marriage. And every decade, the spirit came back, asking for blood. The first time, it was her husband found electrocuted in a freak accident that nobody could explain. The second time, it was a house girl named to buy kerosene. Each death made Nnenna richer, more respected. She opened a private maternity clinic in New Haven. She drove a second-hand Lexus. But the third blood would be different. The spirit wanted youth. It wanted inheritance. It wanted Adaobi. By then, Adaobi was in her final year at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, studying architecture. She had won a competition to design a smart apartment building that merged traditional Igbo aesthetics with modern technology. She was becoming her own woman, and she had just begun to suspect her mother was not the saint she portrayed. Once, after visiting home, she found a rusted calabash under her mother's bed with what looked like fingernails and animal teeth inside. She confronted her, but Nnenna slapped her so hard the girl's ears rang for 3 days. "Don't ever open things you don't understand," her mother had hissed. "This world is deeper than Google can explain." But Adaobi did understand. She had been dreaming of fire and red cloths, of pythons wrapped around her neck, whispering her name. She started keeping a diary. She started recording her dreams. She traced back her father's death, even found an old police report about Kayameka. She wasn't just suspicious, she was convinced. And that conviction was a ticking bomb. Nnenna found the diary one evening while Adaobi was in the bathroom. She didn't need to read much, just one line: "If she's capable of blood for power." She's capable of killing me too. That night, she sat by the kitchen table for hours, her fingers wrapped around a cup of ginger tea, her eyes red with unshed tears. She had sacrificed everything for Adaobi. But what do you do when the child you protected becomes the threat to the very secret that made your world possible? The final decision came on a Monday, under the shadow of a harmattan sky. Nnenna made ofensala with catfish, Adaobi's favorite, and laced it with powdered nightshade, a plant she hadn't touched since her training days in the Forbidden Grove. They ate together. Laughed even. Adaobi spoke of her thesis project and of a possible scholarship to study urban design in Canada. For a moment, Nnenna felt her resolve waver. But then she remembered the python. The whisper, the promise. Blood or ashes, it had said. Adaobi began conversing just after 9 p.m., her body twitching like a marionette in the hands of a drunk puppeteer. Nnenna wept as she held her daughter's head, whispering lullabies from childhood, rocking her into the afterlife. She buried her in the backyard, under the mango tree they planted when Adaobi turned 10. The next morning, she reported her missing, claiming her daughter had never come home from soccer. But the lie was shaky. Friends said she'd arrived. Neighbors saw them together. The police, sluggish but not stupid, began to connect dots. A warrant was issued. The yard was dug up. And there, wrapped in white lace and red thread, was Adaobi. At the station, Nnenna confessed without fanfare. No tears. No hysteria. I saved her from a worse fate, she said quietly. I protected us all. The city reeled. Enugu had never seen anything like it, a mother sacrificing her daughter not for rage or money, but for the legacy of a forgotten goddess. Debates raged on radio stations, pulpits, classrooms. Some called it mental illness. Others whispered that Nne Uhamiri was real and that Nnenna was simply a servant caught between two worlds. But something changed on Noma Street. Young women began to gather every Saturday at the mango tree, some to weep, some to pray, and others to share their own stories of secrets, mothers, and inherited burdens. The space became something else, not a crime scene, but a shrine of truth. A graffiti mural of Adaobi went up on the side of the house, painted by a crew of art students who'd known her at UNN. She wore her graduation cap in the mural, with a python coiled around her shoulder, not as a threat, but as a symbol of wisdom. Nnenna was sentenced to life imprisonment. From her cell, she wrote a memoir titled Blood Isn't Always Red, smuggled to a publisher by a former nurse who believed in her story. It sold out within a month.